one of the big things discovered is the 4-channel, which that, I thought that 2130 was a very good box, but the 2140 has went way beyond what the 2130 would do. The 4-channel data collection, like you said, with the triacs, I've got plants that I run vibration wrapped in. It really speeded up my time. The one thing that people should watch is if you are taking peak view measurements, you need to either use the triacs of PSI cells. I know Dr. Robinson worked for a long time developing this triacs. So in the direction you take your peak view readings, you've got high enough frequency response. I think there are other triacs out there that probably doesn't have high enough frequency response. So just be careful, if you're going to use it to take a peak view, you want to go with the triacs, which really speeds up your collection time, but make sure you're getting the data you need. One thing he didn't talk about was the dynamic range on this box. One of the things you have with the 2120 and 2130 is every time you put your sensor on, it has to auto range. Well, the 2130 would do it off your previous reading, but if it was too much higher or much lower, it would still auto range. With the 2140, it's got enough dynamic range that it never has to auto range, so that's the thing that speeds up your time. The touchscreen, when I first used the machine, I really had a hard time with it, but I've got more used to it, and since first beta unit come out, they have added, it's like a hibernate mode. After a few seconds, it'll go into like a hibernation. All you got to do is touch a key and it'll come back on, or you can put it in yourself, because the problem I had with the touchscreen to start with was, I'd go to machine and leave it on, then I'd bump the key and I'd be on the wrong machine or something. But that's pretty well taken out of the equation now, and I really like the touchscreen. I was at a facility a couple of days ago taking vibration data, and it was real cold, so I had gloves on, and the touchscreen worked fine with that. The display, it's fantastic. You can be out in bright sunlight and you can see the screen. It auto-adjusts for whatever the ambient light is, so your screen is always where you can see it. And like you said, the battery is just phenomenal. I've run 8 hours of data collection. Of course, that's shutting it off for breaks or whatever. But after over 8 hours of data collection, I still had 50% of my battery left. I've done some modem ODS work with it. You're talking about a third of the time taking data with using all 4 channels, and especially with the modal. If you do any modal analysis, you get swing that hammer. If you got a big machine, you got a pretty large hammer, it kind of wears you out, taking 4 averages with every axis where you get 3 of them, so you're cutting your swings with your hammer down to a third of what you would have to do otherwise. Plus, you don't have to worry about any auto ranging or anything like that clicking your signal, because it always gets it. I always wear the headphones when I run my routes. I really like the Bluetooth headphones, but then you don't have the wire coming down to it. I've used the headphones for several years. And I really think they did a lot of thought into the ergonomics of the analyzer, because the strap configuration they got, the strap has a neoprene pad. It's a lot more comfortable and stretchy. It's got quick connects where it connects to your analyzer instead of like the 2130 where you had to weave that your hand strap in and out through those brackets, and it's just a whole lot easier, and it also hangs very well. With the 2130, I had a carabiner that I would put on my strap to get it to where it would hang and sit out in front of me where I could see it, but then it could still go down on my side when I walked around, and this really seems to tilt in and out and hang real well. I really like the handling of the analyzer. I guess that's about it as far as other than just the fact that I'm very pleased with the 2140. Like I said, I thought 2130 was a very good analyzer, but this has went way beyond what the 2130 would do.